The world stopped on February 7th, 2023 for the Jerving family. It's the day they lost Peter, a son and a brother, to a robbery suspect with a gun.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, how's the family? How's everybody doing?
I think the kids are kind of struggling. They really miss Peter, you know.
2 years later, his mom, Patty Jerving, is an author. The manuscript she penned to deal with her grief, now in hardcover. For our visit, she came with items that bring Peter with her. A District 4 keychain that says Mom, a dog tag made by a police department in California, and this blue line bear with Peter's badge number.
I wanted Peter here with me to talk about his book.
Death by Homicide is the book's title, words written in bold on Peter Jerving's death certificate.
I cried while I typed it, and then whenever I had to proofread it, I cried again.
What do you want someone to take away when they read these pages?
I wrote the book because no one should ever forget a fallen police officer. We shouldn't forget them because it takes a special person to be a police officer, and they're willing to put their lives on the line to protect the rest of us from evil.
She writes of having to absorb the excruciating details of her son's death, starting with his body-worn camera.
Terrell, don't make us run.
Peter was training a recruit during the fatal exchange with Terrell Thomas.
He wasn't thinking about the danger he was in. He just knew it was on him to put the gunman down. He ran towards danger instead of taking cover.
In Chapter 8, the body cam video, Patty writes, Peter was willing to sacrifice himself in order to save his partner's life and the lives of other officers. She recalls a journey to the medical examiner's office, writing, Peter's eyelids were partially open, but his brown eyes were no longer beautiful.
I knew that's what Peter wanted us to know, and it had to go in there. I've had friends, and I've told them there's probably chapters that you can't read, and that's okay.
To meeting Peter's recruit, he fell down at our feet and began saying over and over again that he was so sorry. She also writes about finalizing the details for Peter's gravesite. She included never-before-seen pictures.
On the anniversary last year of his end of watch, the family all got together, and our son Andrew had brought pictures of Peter that we had never seen before. It was like I was seeing a new side of him.
Her new mission is holding the justice system accountable.
I got involved with Enough is Enough, and they go into the courts and they listen to what the prosecuting and the defense attorneys recommend for reckless drivers.
And she sent a signed copy to President Donald Trump.
I'd like him to have Peter's story and to know it's not just a police officer that's no longer with us. It's a whole family behind that officer.
The book ends with Chapter 37, Peter's age at the time of his death, but it begins with the picture that speaks to a mother still learning to live with grief.
When I first saw this picture, I heard his voice in my head, and he said, "I've gone to the sky now, Mom." So when I heard his voice, I knew where he had went.
It wasn't that he said it, it's that you heard it. Does that give you a little bit of comfort?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
A portion of the sales will go to Concerns of Police Survivors, the Wisconsin chapter. It's an organization offering resources to surviving families of officers killed in the line of duty. Death by Homicide by Patty Jerving is now available for purchase. You can hear Patty read from her very own book in this story on the 12 News mobile app.